Hello, it is Foundation Friday, October 26, 2018. Steve Sipress here as the sun is setting in the west. Pretty much right in my eyes, but I figure that's better than having it right in your eyes as you attempt to watch the video. So I'll face this way as the sun goes down. But I predict I'll be done with this video long before it does. So I got to tell you a story that happened this morning. My beautiful wife Michelle came back from we go on a daily walk and or run, and she's been complaining about these ill-fitting walking, hiking sneakers, shoes that she bought because they were on sale. And you know, it's nice and it makes you feel good, it makes you feel smart to get a good deal on something, but not if it's going to cause you physical pain. Then it makes you feel not as smart, especially something as important as your feet when you're walking or running every day. So anyway, she says, you know, I'm going to go on Amazon and I'm going to buy a new pair of, I think she said, of walking shoes. About an hour later, I was like, honey, did you buy the new pair of shoes? No, she's been on Amazon the whole time, getting all discombobulated and bent out of shape. Lincoln is here, good seeing you. Because and then she came and started explaining to me, you know, there's all different shoes, sneakers, whatever you want to call them. There's walking shoes, running shoes, there's CrossFit, so they're, you know, you do some of each and what, and this and that, and the toe is reinforced and the heel and the this and that. And I'm like, honey, here's the deal. You went to Amazon, you went to a store, a buying site. You're nowhere near ready to buy. You're still in the educational research stage of the buying cycle. So unless it's a really trivial purchase, extremely low amount of money, or something that takes very little thought because it's a repeat purchase that you buy all the time, a gallon of milk, or even running shoes if you buy them all the time. But something like this, that's something you're not familiar with, and maybe it's something important to you, and certainly the higher dollar amount as it goes up, the more thought human beings put in, and the more time they have in the buying cycle, in the buying process. Everyone in sales, and hopefully if you're watching this video, you're a small business owner, so you understand, there's a buying cycle. And yet, I don't know if there's more of a frustration anywhere else than this point when I talk to business owners over the decades that I've been helping business owners build very successful businesses. A lot of times, I mean, it's human nature, I guess. You want to jump to the end of the buying cycle and run ads that say things like, give me a call, a free consultation for professionals, or come on into the store, we're having a sale. Things like this, which don't recognize, I mean, that'd be great if it was that easy. If everyone was at the end of the buying cycle, they'd already done all their research, they knew exactly what they wanted, and all they had to see was your ad or your social media post or your email, and click and just buy whatever you got. You didn't have to do anything other than offer it and say, I got this, click. And that is a way to make some sales. Probably about 3 to 5% of sales are made that way. About anywhere from 3 to 5% of people, depending on what research you believe, are people that are ready to buy right now. But the other 95 to 97% of people are somewhere earlier in the buying cycle. They're not yet ready to buy. Like this morning when my beautiful wife Michelle went to Amazon.com and realized she's not ready at all to buy running shoes. And I said, honey, if you get all your information on which ones to buy at a buying site from sellers, well, you know, human nature, I mean, they have a tendency to tell you whatever they have to tell you to get you to buy their thing. And you ought to go instead to a library, which are, of course, both in the same place on the internet. And so you go to a search engine, a library, a compendium of information, and you type in questions. What kind of running shoe should I buy, for instance? Same thing happened to me. I was relaying the story when I was looking for bicycles. And I went on to Craigslist, and I said, where is somebody selling bikes around here? And I saw all these different bikes, and I'm like, you know, I haven't bought a bike for years. Somebody gave me, the last one we had, they were moving, they gave us their bikes as a gift, so we didn't think at all, we just took them. But I'm like, man, should I get like a mountain bike or something with the thicker tires, the thinner tires, lower, higher up, 15 gear, 5 gear, 1 gear, 3 gear. I was like, what the hell? All these different things. And I realized I need to get off of Craigslist, a buying site, a store, basically, and I need to get to the library, a search engine, and do some research first. And so I typed in how to choose a bicycle, or what kind of bike to buy, or whatever I typed in, and I found it. And I was reading all about, there's 6 different kinds of bikes, or 8 different kinds, and there's including motorized bikes. Who knew? There's motorized, not motorcycles, motorized bicycles. But anyway, and then as we're on our daily walk / jog, run, whatever we're doing every day, I'm pointing out as the bikers go by to my beautiful wife, Michelle, yeah, see, that's the one that I was telling you about that we should get. You see that one, and we shouldn't get this for that reason, and this and that, and whatever. Now we're ready to buy. We are well informed and ready to buy. So what does this have to do with you and your business? The point is, you want to recognize, and you will have your advertising, marketing, sales system set up so that it can handle wherever people are on the buying cycle. And you don't want to just be lazy and foolish, because especially if you're spending money on advertising and marketing, you're wasting a lot of your dollars if you're only attracting the people that are ready to buy. So for instance, I have a client who's an attorney and was placing an ad with the typical attorney ad, call for a consultation. I'm like, whoa, we're really, look, I just said, we're assuming everyone reading this is at the end of the buying cycle. We just want it to be real easy. Call for a consultation. It was like a 1 or a 2 inch ad even. I mean, it was not any reason at all why the person should call, just asking, do you have this problem? If so, call for a consultation. Well, even if they have that problem, they're not sure that they're ready to call for a consultation. Also not sure what questions to ask, how to even choose which attorney or what they should do. That was the situation. I relayed to this client of mine. I had just hired an attorney that morning or the day before. And first, I'd done a whole bunch of research because I wanted to know when I get on for the consultation with this lawyer. First of all, I know for lawyers, time is money. It's not going to have a long time for this consultation. And I want to ask the right questions so I know whether I should hire this attorney. So to do that, I had to do a lot of research. And when I got on with the attorney, I did ask a lot of questions, and I got the answers. Some I was not happy with, but they were answers to the questions I was asking. What happens in this case? One of which, even in this case, the attorney was laughing at me. He goes, I don't even know how to answer that. No one's ever asked that before. I never heard of anyone even suggesting that. And I'm like, all right, just asking, just, in case that's... He's like, no, it doesn't work like that. You do this and that. And, I won't tell you the ridiculous questions I was asking, but I was asking the questions. And also, not only did I want to know the information, but more importantly, I wanted to know his answers to the information. I wanted to engage his experience level. Did he understand that these are questions that come up? Or did I call an attorney who, has handled no cases and said something, would say something like, gee, I never thought of that. Like, oh, big red flag. So most buyers, for anything important, complex, high-priced, however you want to define it, need to do some research before we make a buying decision. It's very rare that somebody... I had another client last week that I met with, and I was like, having the same kind of conversation. I said, what's the last major purchase you guys made? And they were like, well, our home. I said, well, there you go. Did you just buy the first house you saw? Didn't ask any questions, and you just said, I want to buy it? And guess what? My client's wife said, yeah, we did. I was like, all right, bad analogy there. But she said, yeah. She said, we've driven by this home. And I said, if that ever comes on the market, we want to buy it. She said, one day they drove by, and sure enough, the sign was out front for sale. They stopped the car, went right up, knocked on the door, and said, we want to buy it. And that was it. Didn't tour around the inside, didn't do anything, I was like, okay, well, see, so there you go. That's the 3 to 5% of people that are ready to buy without any kind of education, without any kind of buying cycle. And that's a multi-6-figure, I'm assuming, this is a very successful client of mine, a sizable home purchase, as opposed to my beautiful wife, Michelle, buying a $30 or $40 or $50 pair of shoes. And she wants to do lots of research to figure out, especially since she's walking around with the wrong shoes that are hurting her feet. Now she wants to feel smart. And it's not a matter of, oh, gee, I need to save $5. It's more a matter of now I want to feel smart. I want to know that I got the right shoes. And for that, she's got to do some education. Now, here's the key. That attorney, when I did all that education to find out all about this field of law before I'm going to call up and speak to attorneys and see which one to hire. Maybe you can guess where I got the bulk of that information from. I got it from this attorney, because when I searched for it, I clicked to this attorney's website, and this attorney had all kinds of information about this type of law and the situations and this and that, whatever. And so guess what? It was his case to lose, right? I didn't then go searching around for other lawyers to talk to. By offering me and disseminating the information to me, he positioned himself as the expert on this subject, not to mention the obvious choice and his case to lose. At least the first call I should make. Maybe not automatically. Maybe I would have ended up not hiring him for some reason, but certainly earned the first call when he gave me all that information. I'd have to think to myself, I didn't even think of it, but I'd have to think, pretty silly of me to call somebody else when he was the one who, through all that information, was showing me or made me feel that he obviously knows his stuff. I got on the phone and even knew even more than just that stuff, because it said he told me in this particular case, this judge you have here, I won't say the guy's name, but this judge is a no-nonsense judge. So actually that's in your favor, because the person I'm up against has been pulling all kinds of nonsense. And it's like, this judge won't stand for that. So he's likely to rule in your favor. And that's when I realized, I have a law degree, but I never practice. But I do like watching a lot of these legal and cop shows. There's certainly enough of them. And if you pay attention, or movies, and you see a lot of the times, that's what it is. The lawyers they all know each other in their little field of law. And they all know all the judges, and not that many in any given area in a court. And so they know the judges, they know the other attorneys, they know what deals they can make out, they know what they can and can't get out of the judge. And all this went on this conversation to me saying to myself, I'd be an idiot to hire anyone else. This guy's telling me I know this judge, I know what to say, I know what he likes, I know what he doesn't. And by inference, what he's also saying is the judge knows me, and the judge will respect me. And when I say this, but I'm not gonna go for that because he won't go for that. Well, then the judge has respect for this attorney. And just like you see, I've been in courtrooms, and just like you see on TV, some are not that realistic, but some are. The judges are not always going to go along with it, but they'll listen to the attorneys, and the ones they respect, they'll listen to more than the ones they don't. And so I ended up hiring this guy. Anyway, long story short, understand the buying cycle, and I'm trying to keep my hand out of the shadow while I switch arms here. Maybe I should just take the hint and stop the video already, because my arm is getting tired. Oh, Robert Jones is here. Great seeing you, Robert Jones. John is here. Alex is here. We got an all-star cast. Robin is here. All kinds of great people. So that's it. Understand, people are, if they're the earlier in the buying cycle, means they're in the information gathering research stage. And you want to incorporate that for maximum results, again, especially if you're spending any money or any time on your advertising, sales, or marketing. You want to incorporate people that are on the early stages of the buying cycle, and not just discard them and just say, hey, call for a consultation or click here to buy. And say, gee, if they're not ready, well, then I guess, they're not ready. They're not buying yet. Yeah, right, they're not. But they'll go for information and research, and the person that gives it to them is likely to get the first call, and they're going to end up buying from them. They're not going to come back to you when they're ready to buy. They're going to buy from the person or the store or the place or the consultant or whoever it is that's giving him that information, positioning themselves. It happens to me. I just used an example. I just realized these videos. I've been recording a daily Facebook Live video and putting it onto LinkedIn and Twitter and my blog and my podcast and YouTube and all over the place for a year and a half. And I get clients from it all the time. And anywhere I go to events, I have people coming up to me. I was at an event yesterday with Robert Jones, who's right on here. He was hosting an event yesterday, his quarterly big event for his Network Together, fantastic organization. And people are coming up to me, I've been stalking you on Facebook. Or somebody said, a friend of mine's been stalking you. I said, what's their name? Told me the name, and I said, I don't recognize, because as you see here, I say hello to people, and I interact. I'm very interactive, and I'll answer the questions, and I'll talk to people. And she said, oh no, she never says hello or interacts on there, but she's watching all your videos and stalking. Okay, and so she's like, now she wants to know how she can become your client and how she can get more help and so on. So I'm providing information. At the same time people are getting the information, what else are they getting? They're getting the impression that I know what I'm talking about. That if I can help in general, I might be able to help in particular with their situation, which is almost undoubtedly true. And if it isn't, I'll find someone for them and point them to somebody who can. Phil is the great senior. Phil says providing information before the purchase can also set up add-on sales, of course. So that's what I'm talking about. Your sales and marketing system. You want to sell more stuff. You want to recognize and incorporate into your sales and marketing and advertising system people at all different points on the buying cycle, from just having an inkling that maybe I want to buy someday, to doing the research, to getting closer and closer and closer to ready to make a buying decision. And the earlier you show up, and the more often you show up, and the more useful you are when you show up, the more likely that it's going to be your sale to lose, that they're going to at least come to you first, if not only, when they're ready to buy. And so that's the foundational tip for Foundational Friday. Don't be lazy. Make sure when you're doing your sales and marketing and advertising system, you're recognizing that there's all different points in the buying cycle. And early on, people want information. They don't want to just buy. Sometimes they do, but not always. Very few people. Who else on here? Robert Jones says videos are a new powerful way of introductions. Agreed. Because of the voyeur effect. There you go. Voyeur effect. That's what I was told yesterday at your event, Robert. Somebody said my friend has been stalking you. And so, as a voyeur, for those voyeurs, maybe you want to peer in on my pool. Ooh, look at that. Behind the scenes, we have the little pink floating thing in the pool. And we have the pool cleaning thing that seems to be not moving at the moment. Oh, and we have the rubber ducky over there. Where is he? There he is, near the waterfall. The rubber ducky is telling you what temperature the pool is, because now we have the heated pool effect. Now that we've gotten into the fall, and it's definitely below 110 every day, and we want to know what temperature the pool is heated to before we go jumping in there. Anyway, that'll do it for Foundation Friday. Thanks to everybody being here live and all the input and the questions. Keep it up on the replay. I always respond to any questions, comments, concerns when appropriate, and I thank you for all the likes and the shares and the interactivity and all that stuff that makes this fun. And speaking of fun, I'll be back again tomorrow. Just about to head out now to some neighbors for a Halloween party, so I got to go put on my costume. It will not be a silly red Hawaiian shirt that I wear every day. And I'll be back tomorrow on Success Story Saturday. By the way, I've been thinking about switching up the themes of these days after about a year and a half of doing this. And look for that coming soon. But for now, tomorrow will be Success Story Saturday, where I will share a story of a successful entrepreneur to give you some motivation and inspiration, how you too could overcome obstacles and become successful, and possibly even some real good information of how you can emulate said success of other people and follow in their footsteps. Now, hope you will join me then. Thanks everyone being here today. I'm heading out to the Halloween party. And so I will say boo. Thanks for being here today. Bye-bye.